DraftSociety.com presents a Premier League Draft Fantasy Podcast. Welcome to the Key Pass Collective, your exclusive source for the information, analysis, and advice you need to dominate your fantasy leagues. Come on in. We've been expecting you.
What's going on, draft heads? Welcome back into the KPC. My name is Joe Williams. I'll be your host for this particular episode. Yes, we have just experienced midweek game week, which just wrapped. And congratulations to those Hammers. And thank you, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for the win. I appreciate that. But I hope everyone else had as good a luck as I did. And I do call it luck because I just squeaked it by. But yeah, even though that's not possible, I'm sure not everyone could have won because otherwise that would be literal. Anyway, welcome in. We are the Key Pass Collective. Once again, I'm Joe. You'll hear from the other lads in just a second here. But we are a draft fantasy podcast. So we focus on the draft fantasy football game and focusing on the Premier League. Obviously, we are the audio companion to the Draft Society website. So let me tell you a little bit about that before we move right along. The Draft Society is going to be your one-stop shop for basically everything you need in terms of this draft fantasy game. So just dominating, making sure that you've got all the information you possibly need, making sure you're up to date on everything, advice, all that good stuff, midweek pickups, those kind of things. I mean, we've got you covered for everything. So we've got a bunch of free stuff there, top 75 consensus ranks, weekly waiver wire article. You get 3 of those free, and 3 of those are for subscribers. Sleepers 11 weekly article, Ghost Point Hunters. We've got draft statistics that are amazing and projected lineups every single week. Then, as mentioned, there is a subscriber-only section. If you're willing to help us keep the lights on, we are an independent fantasy football website, so we absolutely appreciate it. But if you're willing, and you can get 50% off right now with using the code CYBERDRAFT, if you're willing to sign up for the season, you will go ahead and get a whole bunch more stuff. So rest of season player rankings, weekly player points projections for every single player, sortable consensus rankings during international breaks. And that is basically as many Draft Society analysts as we can kind of cobble together. We'll give you their takes, and you can sort by which person you like or whoever's rankings you want to follow, or you could sort by position or team or whatever. Set piece taker tracker. We've got confidential trade advice, fixture difficulty tracker. You can join the Inner Circle Discord, which is a closed community where like-minded individuals talk fantasy football advice and strategy, which is pretty solid. And then most importantly, you'll get the Fantasy Toolkit, which is a bespoke tool to your Fantrax ID that will literally give you recommendations on what you could do in your league based upon your specific league and who's available in your league and what players are on your roster and all of those good things. I mean, it really is, it's the crown jewel, as we call it. So it's definitely worth it. It has cut my prep time week in and week out. It's cut my prep time probably not even in half. Like I'm down to like 90% from the prep time that I used to do back in the day when you had to really figure out all the different matchups and look to see who was available in your league. And then, oh no, he's not. Then you had to go back to the drawing board and you get it. Yeah. It saves so much time. It's really is incredible. So check it out. And if you have any questions or anything like that, hit us up with an email. You'll find it on the website. Okay. Today, we are going to talk about the double game week and the blank game week that are upcoming. Just something we should mention because I don't think we've really talked about that yet. So now that we know the official dates and the official game weeks and the teams involved, we can talk about that real quick and just see if there are any changes or any preparations that we're making in terms of those 2 game weeks. Then we are going to have the last straw. We haven't done the last straw in a while, so we'll do a segment of the last straw, and we'll kick it, and then we'll end it off with some Game Week 28 streamers, as always. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and bring in Sanjy, bring in Ryan. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Doing all right. A huge sigh of relief after that game. Joe knows that I'm extremely neurotic, especially about big matchups. So I was in a 1 versus 2 where if I lost, my lead would be 1 game, and if I won, it would go back to 3. And I was up 16 and change versus Bowen, and I was just dreading it because it's like his projection was like right around 16, and it was obviously Leicester, and they concede goals and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so I just went off the grid for 2 hours, and I popped back up to see the score in one final blow, and thank God he didn't eclipse more than 9. So I'm very happy bunny.
Yeah, did they not give him that goal?
He got an assist. I didn't see the highlights, but don't tell me he's going to get a goal in freaking stat corrections.
No, so what must have happened is
an own goal or something, I assume?
Yeah, I think it must have been an own goal, and I think so it was either he was going to get the goal or he kicked it off the guy. I can't remember who it was. He kicked it off the guy, and then it was an OG. I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got 9 with an assist, which is pretty bad. So
it's not
I was
great.
Actually thinking that JWP might be cannibalizing his maybe set piece ghosts. I don't know, but he could be a sell high. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm glad he messed up.
12 with a goal against Arsenal. 5.5 the week before. Ew.
The Arsenal one makes sense because they barely had the ball, and it was one kick of the ball or header in his case to get the goal. But I was expecting more, fearing more in this one. But thank God.
Yeah, he's been kind of brutal lately. Oh, okay. Sanjy, how did your game weeks go?
Good, man. I mean, I won in the one I should be winning. IGL.
The one where you have Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another jammy win. Let's go.
No. Well, I suppose because you had Bowen in that one, right?
Yeah, I came up against Kudus. Similar scores, I think.
Yeah, 9.
I mean, to be fair, Kudus has been pretty woeful.
Oh, we will bring him up in a little while.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, pretty grateful Bowen still came through. And hopefully I can get the title sealed up as soon as possible. I'd like to relax for a bit.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Just you're gonna collect the cash and just be able to literally go maybe be on the beach.
Yeah, just chill.
Yeah,
but yeah, not too bad, man.
I like it. Nice. All right, sweet. Well, pleasantries out of the way. Let's talk some fantasy, guys. Okay, so first things first, incoming double and blank game weeks. So now that we know the official where these are going to land in the fixture list, let's kind of talk through those just so managers have an idea. And then we can kind of also discuss what we're doing, if anything, to prepare for these or, to look ahead, if you will. So Newcastle United. Oh, by the way, what you're seeing on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube or you have your phone sideways and you're on Spotify, is you're seeing our fixture difficulty tracker, and it's showing game weeks 28 through game weeks 32.5, which would be the second half of the double game week. And so the reason we're doing that, obviously, to encapsulate both the double and the blank game week. But what you're seeing is the fixture difficulty tracker specifically for the defender category. I did that because most of the time your streamers are generally going to be defenders. I mean, generally most of the time. So I would say the bulk of the streamers end up being defenders. So that's kind of why I chose to have this one on the screen. But what you see is Newcastle with the highest ranked fixture difficulty. So in other words, the easiest fixtures upcoming. They, have West Ham in 28, but then they do blank in 29. Game week 30 and 31, Brentford and Leicester, Manchester United, and then Crystal Palace in the double game week. So that is an interesting one to think about, keep an eye on. Liverpool, of course, has already played Aston Villa, so they both blank in game week 29. And then Crystal Palace, somewhere kind of middling to maybe like lower middle, because not only do they blank in 29, but then their double game week ends up being away at City and away at Newcastle. So not what we were hoping for if you are rostering Crystal Palace assets in terms of a double game week. So anything, guys, that you are doing to prepare for this or get in on any of these assets, or maybe gird your loins when it comes to the blanks?
Wow, I have no idea what that meant, but I don't want to know. What if I told you though that Crystal Palace's last 4 away games, they've not conceded a single goal?
Damn.
I was gonna say I'm not afraid of that. of that
Exactly.
double.
City are terrible, and I mean Newcastle are unpredictable.
True.
I'll start Richards in that double all day.
Easily.
Interesting.
Will Hughes, I'll have to be a game time decision, but a lot of those guys I don't mind.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't blame you. I mean, obviously you're going to start most of your Palace studs, the guys that you usually start. I don't know.
If I had to ask you guys who I face in game week 32.
Oh, hold on.
Who would you mention?
Oh, you're obviously against Isak.
Yeah, plus.
No, you're not.
Plus
Gordon?
No, but it's still bad.
Sanjy, you got a guess?
Pardon?
Oh,
Sorry?
Eze.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eze.
Oh, damn.
and a few other randos like Tenali and Livramento and a few others.
Yeah.
As soon as that double was announced, I was like, I bet I'm, and I know kind of the teams in my league pretty well. I was like, I bet I'm facing that fucking team. Sure enough. So I don't know what I'm going to do, honestly. The good part about, I think, Newcastle is that there's some injured guys that are going to be on the wire and probably available, especially with the blank. Thinking of like your Joe Lintons, probably your Sven Botmans, maybe a few others that you can pick up. And on the Palace side, yeah, I think all of their defenders are set and forget, so they're probably gone. But you can probably pick up someone like Will Hughes. Wharton's probably already snapped up, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's probably about it.
Yeah. Just looked. I am against Livramento and Cher, both on the same team.
You can pick up Botman to stem the tide a little bit.
Yeah, maybe to gird my loins.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm thinking about doing is, I think a lot of folks won't clock this until it gets closer. And they don't look multiple game weeks. Look ahead multiple game weeks. So I'm thinking about like trying to trade in one of those absurd DGWers that I just mentioned from that guy that I'm facing in 32, just to like gird my loins a little bit. So, like, I was trying to sweeten him up on offering Saka for Isak, especially with the injury. Versus Liverpool, but it's probably just Liverpoolitis. I'm sure he'll be back.
Are there any single game week fixtures you guys would target in case you can't get a double game weeker?
Brighton at home to Leicester looks good.
Oh yeah, but the rotation there is so. I mean, you just don't know what to make of that.
Mincy though, man, he's survived.
Well, at this point, you'd have to trade for him.
Yeah, you absolutely would. But I think it'd be a good trade.
Everton are not the easy matchup that they used to be, and most Forest assets are rostered.
Villa, I guess. At Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad actually.
You could get your hands on a Villa center back and just hope and pray.
I feel like you can get your hands on most Villa players, no?
Yeah, McGinn's floating around probably.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's Southampton though. Like they might break the record.
I
Like,
know.
They're so bad.
Oh God, Jacob Ramsey. Oh,
Nope, never again.
I agree. I completely agree. I can't stand him as a fantasy asset.
I've got a real dilemma I just thought of. Would you rather go Nketiah double game week or Jacob Ramsey versus Southampton?
Oh,
I mean, Ramsey probably has a. If Ramsey starts, then he'll have more starts in that, even with a double. Nketiah, I just don't.
that's.
Palace has been so good. I don't see Nketiah starting, barring injury.
Are you saying that's a conundrum you have, or you just made that up?
No, I'm just making it up because
Thank God.
He scored off the bench, and I think he got an assist like a few appearances before that off the bench as well. I'm just asking, just double game week. You're getting what, 60 minutes out of a player? I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're talking about two of the most return dependent players in the league.
Hey, somebody might have that
Inconsistent.
dilemma, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I think
I'd rather go Will Hughes all
Yes.
day.
Love that man.
Powder for me.
Will Hughes. I call Will Hughes the Magic Man. Did I ever tell you that? I call him the Magic Man because he looks to me like a wizard that sells magic beans.
I imagine.
Yeah, I think we've had
watches
this
as well.
conversation.
Yeah,
I call
yeah,
him Powder.
Yeah, I call him Magic Man.
I call him Powder from the movie.
I love that's also awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's missing the complete and utter baldness.
Yeah, but
Give
I've
it time.
overlooked that.
Yeah, that's fair. Mix him and John Joe Shelby, and you've really got
Yeah,
you're
that's
onto
fair.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah. As far as the blank game weeks go, I mean, there's not really anything to mention there.
Yeah, there aren't like 50-50 guys that like the guys you want to hold, you're going to hold. There aren't any like bad tough decisions, I think, there.
Right. And
Um,
all the Palace guys you were mentioning, just because they blank in 29, on either side of that is Ipswich and Southampton. So you are absolutely not dropping any of those guys.
Yeah, if anything, you probably have to. Oh God, I didn't want to have to pick up Will Hughes this early.
God, and Liverpool have Southampton and Everton on either side of that blank too. Unbelievable.
Christ.
Oh,
You double every week, and then you get that.
yeah. Exactly.
Incredible.
I know, it's crazy.
Southampton will score. I guarantee it.
Uh,
The jammiest of goals, but they
At-
will randomly score.
at Anfield?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see it. They actually gave us kind of a hard time, if I remember. Dibbling looked
yeah.
pretty lively. But all right, nice. Anything else on those?
No.
Mm.
All right, sweet. Then let's do this without further ado.
But okay, but that's the last straw.
All right, the last straw. These are players that we are almost done with. Not quite, but we are almost done with. Or are we? That's the question, I guess. So let's jump right into it. We've got plenty of these. I think there's 4 different slides of last straw players. So we don't have a whole lot else to do tonight, guys. So we can take our time with these. It's not a
Plenty
big
of
deal.
frustration to go around with these
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. It's catharsis. So yeah. Anybody in comments in the chat, if you guys have extra or other last straw candidates as well, pop them in the chat and we'll see if we have time to get to those as well. Okay, guys. Several of these are going to be ones that you all recommended, which is awesome. And then other ones are going to be just ones that I added and sprinkled in there. So, Sanjy, I believe the first set is thanks to you. Your first candidate, I didn't realize how bad he's been. Bernardo Silva. So really quickly, just let me preface this with saying I sorted all of these scores by the last 60 days. 60 days. It's on Fantrax. You have that ability, right? So I sorted by 60 days. Bernardo Silva, 18.5 points in 375 minutes. That's 4 starts, no goals, 1 shot on target, no assists, 2 key passes. That is abysmal.
Yeah, like the funny thing is, like, somebody sent me a trade, sending me Bernardo Silva, asking for Pedro Neto. And at first I was like, okay, you're crazy. And then I actually looked at Bernardo Silva's points, and he wasn't even playing football. Like the last 3 games. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Pep, like the City in general are just in absolute turmoil. He's chopping and changing a lot, trying to, ride out the rest of the season. And yeah, Bernardo Silva is not even making the cut recently. But he's, for some reason, people have him and own him and are keeping him. I don't know. I feel like,
so that's the question. 95% rostered.
yeah, it's mental.
I'd drop him.
Easy.
He's a drop for you?
Yeah. I'm sure you can get better, like, or name value alone, like, try a trade. Like, why you even? I mean, obviously somebody tried to trade with me, but yeah, drop him, man.
The problem is, I mean, you can deal with the rotation, you price that in, but even when he does play, he's playing in a much more of a reserved role, not getting into any dangerous positions, and obviously not scoring well at all. Plus, the competition has risen with like Marmouche and others, so he's not going to get a sniff up there. So yeah, I think it's over for him.
Exactly.
And good riddance, because he's Bruno's heir apparent, and I don't want to make it an anti-Portuguese thing, but Jesus God.
No, we love the Portuguese. We love their weather. We love their food. We love their pastries.
Yeah, their
we love their
casapillas.
Yes. We love the casapilla. We love their beef.
The gansos.
Yeah. Up the gansos.
Yeah.
Vamos juntos.
But he's a rat.
He is. Okay.
And he's been trying to leave for like 15 years. Like,
they're gonna let him.
See you later.
They're gonna let him. Yeah, no. I think, Ryan, what you hit the nail on the head. I think it's he's in that more reserved role. He's not as high on the pitch. When you have guys like KDB miraculously healthy, Foden's healthy. I mean, just the squad is, the issue is not health or injuries. So that being the case, he doesn't get to slot into those attacking places where he, used to be able to fill in for people who were out with long-term injuries. So I'm with you guys. These numbers are alarming. I mean, they're absolutely terrible. By the way, it says 4 games started. Most teams played 8 games in this time period. So just so everyone's aware of that. Last 60 days, 4 games started, 18.5 fantasy points. Hot. Terrible. All right. Mohamed Kudus is an interesting one because I updated this during the game. I think when I did that, he was on 9. He ended with 10. So actually 38 points. I'll correct that for the record. In 581 minutes, he started all 8 games. No goals, 2 shots on target, 1 assist, 4 key passes, 29 dispossessions.
What up, Wilf?
Yep. 29 dispossessions. Man. But I got, to his credit, the dribbles are pretty impressive too, I think. Let me quickly look and see what that is.
Yeah, he's second highest for dribbles.
Okay, well so there you go. But
guess who pipped him? Take one guess.
Oh, Doku.
Yeah.
One
it would have been what's his name? The Leicester guy.
The Canoe?
Fatawu.
He
would have, if he would have stayed healthy.
Rest in peace. Damn.
Yeah, he would have done it.
Yep.
He would have been such a great asset. You had him, didn't you, Sanjy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being jealous.
League.
I think I sent you a couple trade offers.
Yeah. I miss that guy.
Christ.
So with Kudus though, the last couple matches have actually been pretty encouraging. 7.75 against Arsenal and he didn't do jack shit, and 10 against Leicester.
But he has the assist.
With
right?
the assist, right.
You got 10 with an assist? What the hell happened today?
Yeah.
Who's taking all the ghosts?
Shot on target. Yeah, what was JWP on today?
I think
he got 6.
Maybe there
not
just
him.
weren't ghosts today, really, for anybody.
Like
Did
every
Leicester
time.
park
So
the bus or what?
no, I don't think so. Like every time I looked at the game, it seemed like Leicester had a bit of possession. So I don't know. Might not have been a walk in the park for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arsenal result doesn't mean that. I mean, West Ham is back. Like they've been really bad overall. Just because they parked the bus and nicked a goal against the run of play doesn't mean that they're suddenly a great team under Potter.
Sure. No, I agree completely.
But Leicester's horrific, so that's why I was fearing the worst with Bowen. They still should be doing a lot better.
Well, so they got a clean sheet, right? Clearly today.
Yeah.
So
Cress got all the. I forgot.
Yep. Cress had 20. Wan-Bissaka had 16.75, and then Souček, who also scored a goal, 16.25. Kilman 10.75. I mean, it all just went to the defense. Yeah. Yeah, Cresswell. Yeah. Cresswell 10.25 against Arsenal, another clean sheet, of course, and then 20.5 today against the worst team in the league.
Baller. I wonder if Cress was taking any sets. He probably took some left-sided sets.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I can't remember. I was working on this slideshow.
I was too busy winning.
Pretty brutal though. Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, 10 and 7.75 for Kudus. That aside, it's not been too encouraging. Newcastle, Everton, Wolverhampton coming up though. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that makes me want to pick up Cresswell. Yeah, that's really bad.
Ben Chickens, Cress on corners. Thanks, Chickens.
Yeah, Cress took one and JWP took the other 2.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at Cresswell, but we're talking about Kudus.
Oh yeah. I think. Well, okay, so like I own Kudus in a league. I traded him back in Gameweek 11. For Morgan Gibbs-White. Terrible decision on my part, but
somebody did that trade in my league like a couple weeks ago. I was like, what?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago is kind of stupid. Like,
yeah, exactly. I was like,
dumb.
what?
It's really dumb.
Kudus was not doing shit, and like,
yeah,
MGW was on the come up. I was like, what
Yeah.
the hell are you doing?
I don't know, man. I feel like at some point it could click. Like he's still a really good player. But yeah, it's exhausting. Like there's weeks now I'm thinking maybe I could actually just risk benching him, like stream somebody else better just that game week. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's tough.
If anything, what this is showing me is that, he has the full trust of the manager. 8 starts, 581 minutes. I mean, he's going to be out there. So like you said,
that's the problem.
Well, but like you say, if there's a chance that he sort of finds his feet under Potter, then, potentially he's got room for growth here, especially giving the fixtures coming up.
Man, I don't know. I think he's a trade out for me. This is a big litmus test. If you can't do it against Leicester at home, then I know the schedule is nice, but yeah, I would kind of test the waters in the trade market here.
It wasn't even an assist. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen the highlights yet.
Oh, okay. It was. I mean, he was in a good position to be fair. And it was a shot directly into the keeper, which ricocheted off for Souček to finish. So it's a fantasy assist from a bad shot.
Seems like they're going around.
Yeah.
What are you getting for Kudus though?
That's the question.
I honestly don't know. But he's got enough name recognition. He just got 10 points. I mean, obviously it's pretty bad with an assist, but
yeah.
Could talk up the schedule. And yeah, the fact that they could turn it around under Potter. So I still think you can get something decent for him. Someone like
Maybe you go.
Damsgaard,
A Vissa?
maybe.
What were you saying, Sanjy?
For Vissa. Kudus for Vissa.
I wouldn't even. I wouldn't entertain that in a million years as a Vissa roster.
Yeah, it's tough. Minta's too high. Liam Delap?
Okay.
No, I still have a line.
Ben Chicken says an injured Joe Linton. Ben, he was dropped in one of my leagues.
Wow.
Yeah, he was dropped in mine too.
When you look at his scores, it's not just the fact that he's injured. His scores are so bad.
Brandon Johnson? Is that too high?
I don't think that's too high. He's been out. I could see it.
You might be able to get Madison across the line, but pick your poison.
No.
Tom says Hudson Odoi.
Ooh.
Not a bad one.
Dango?
I mean,
Dango's getting less minutes. Dango's getting less minutes now.
Oh, is he really?
Could you get Rashford?
Oh.
I somehow doubt it, but I would do that.
I think you're underestimating the market for him. I think name recognition is still pretty high.
Huh. Oh well. I want people to try and let us know if they're
Yeah, I'm honestly
able to.
curious. It's one of those
Yeah.
guys where you're like, I really don't know what
Yeah.
you could get.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, promising, getting the minutes, getting the starts. Unlike the next guy we're about to talk about, which is
Straight drop, easy peasy. No
Another
way.
one of my
No more
players.
scissoring.
Alejandro Garnacho. 31.25 fantasy points in 489 minutes. That is off of 5 starts, no goals on 6 shots on target, no assists on 7 key passes with 5 dribbles. What I'll say is the shots and the key passes are at least there. Like they exist. They haven't materialized, but the whole team is shit right now. So I don't know. Sanjy, as a manager with him, what are you doing?
So here's my dilemma. I would normally have dropped him by now, but Genie's in my league, and I know the minute I drop him, Genie's gonna pick him up and offer him back to me.
That's so true.
That's very true. But
I love that.
the thing is, like,
it's
if you
a
actually
cut
do
off your nose to spite your face thing.
Right.
You're not
Exactly.
showing him by just burning a hole in your roster.
Yeah. No, the thing is though, like, yes, United are a dumpster fire at the moment. The thing is though, if you actually watch the games and the limited minutes and starts that he gets, he just misses like big chances and chances that he should be putting away. Like, I'm pretty sure he's underperforming his XG for the season. Like, I don't know, man.
Dude, that chance against Spurs was as close as you can get to an open net in this
Criminal.
league.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay. I mean, is that just somebody low on confidence? Is out of form?
Could be. But I don't know if he's gonna get it back anytime soon. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, that's fair. To answer your question, Sanjy, 3 goals, 1 assist on the season. Let's see, 3.5 shots per 90, 1.3 key pass per 90. That's terrible. His XG. So again, he has 3 goals. His XG is 7.64. He has 1 assist. His XA is 2.16. That's pretty bad though. 4.5 XG deficit is pretty brutal. Like that. I mean, that speaks to like Darwin level missing sitters.
oh god. Yeah, I think I'm I still think he has some kind of trade value. Like, there's always a United fan in your league that will want him. But it's just how much you can get for him, and how patient you're willing to be. I don't know. It might click at one point. He might fluff one in, like, in a really ugly way.
Wow.
What's the schedule like? I know Arsenal's next, but what's after that?
Leicester, Forest, City, Newcastle, Wolves. Like, it's
Yeah.
mixed.
There are no good matchups for Man United. They're worse than every one of
No.
those teams.
Yeah, like they barely beat Ipswich.
Yeah.
Oh, they required massive luck to beat Ipswich.
Yeah.
And like, it wouldn't surprise me if the rest of the teams they have to play, other than Leicester, finish above them in the table.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's an easy drop for me. I mean, you can obviously the play is to try your diluted United fan in your league, but if that's too much of a pain in the ass, it's an easy drop.
The problem is if you have a bunch of these guys we're talking about, you can't just drop them all. Like, you're not going to be able to find.
The wire provides.
Yeah, it really does. It really,
There's
really
always
does.
somebody.
That's true.
You need get you a toe by 3 o'clock
The dude provides.
with nail polish.
They're gonna kill that poor woman. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I grabbed Ndidi today, 7.25, just as a stopgap, and that's the kind of score that you're only going to see from Garnacho once every couple months.
He'll get you that in 4 to 5 games cumulatively.
Yeah, I mean, he won't have started all of them, but if you're willing to start him from the bench, then yeah.
Okay, I send Genie a trade.
I like it.
God knows he doesn't have any fab left, so it's got to be.
No, it's got to be for a player.
Yeah.
No, and I you don't even have to say it, Sanjy, but I'm guessing whoever the player is, we're gonna be like, yep, do it. All right, let's move on. Ryan, a couple of yours here, and then sprinkled in is your last one that you recommended there, Sanjy. So first of all, Ricardo Calafiori has had a rough go of it. 34.25 fantasy points, 326 minutes. That's 4 games started, no clean sheets, 1 goal, 2 shots on target, no assists from 3 key passes.
Yeah, this hurts. Because I have him in I think every league but one. And yeah, the early returns were promising.
Yeah, they really
were.
He
got injured, and then everything went to shit for him and Arsenal. And then he went and then the great byproduct of that was the emergence of Miles Lewis Skelly. He's a great player in real life, not a fantasy asset. But him getting a red. The game week before this one opened up the door again for Calafiori, and yeah, he got hooked at the hat, but it wasn't I think performance wise, but although he got a yellow like immediately as soon as the opening kickoff, he just took CHO down, and I was like, oh god, fuck, I did not start him. But yeah, he was playing in more of like an attacking role. And yeah, as Omar mentions, he had a great little pirouette and should have scored, but it hit the post. So he looked decent eye test wise. And with Lewis Skelly out another 2 matches, he should start again versus United. So that would be, I think, the true last straw if you can't do anything against United. But then you have Tierney and Zinchenko waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
I mean, Arteta must be just exasperated, but I still think he's going to stick with Calafiori. So I'd hold just for that fixture, but then the window's dwindling because Lewis Skelly will be back after that, and if he doesn't score well against United, I think it's curtains, and you can probably drop at that point.
Yeah, and what's concerning is like the really early hooks. Like when he gets hooked at half or comes on at half, like I just hate that that's happened so often.
Yeah, this was a special case, I think, as I said, because of the yellow and because we get a red card every game. So there was a decent chance he would get a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's a performance thing. But yeah, you got to be disappointed in that one. But yeah, I think it's United or bust for me.
50 because it was 55 against West Ham, 55, and then 45. The one you're mentioning against Forest. The 45 against Wolves, he didn't start.
Yeah,
He nearly.
I was gonna say I
nearly
don't remember a lot of early hooks.
Yeah.
He nearly scored against Forest too, right?
Yeah, hit the post.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so are you dropping him?
It's a hold for now. Like I said, I'll put him
Give
out
him
against
United.
But yeah, his stock is dwindling, and he's a drop after that if he doesn't do well.
I'm on board with that. I think that sounds good. Yeah, give him United.
Yeah, he deserves it. Those locks.
I mean, no, man, I was so excited about him. I after because you and I both drafted him several different places. After the draft in his first couple of weeks, I thought we'd really gotten away with one there. Like, he looked
great.
Oh man, I was like, we got him late in drafts, and he is going to be just a monster. Hasn't quite turned out that way, but he was part of that Foden plus Calafiori for Cunha trade that I did.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so pretty excited about that. All right, Sanjy, Jadon Sancho. 42.5 fantasy points in 497 minutes. That's 5 starts, no goals, not a single shot on target, 1 assist from 11 key passes, and 14 dribbles. The key passes are interesting. At least those are there.
I mean, the key passes is because like we'll still create chances. There's still good players playing for Chelsea, but one of the biggest problems I think we've had all season is we don't have enough goals from our wingers, and it's like showing right here.
Clearly, no goals, no shots on target.
Yeah,
500 minutes.
It's pretty bad, man. You listen to the fans as well; they're complaining about him like he's one of the worst attacking players that we have right now. And what's crazy is like he's not finished near 90 minutes for like the last 6 or 7 games, I think. Like he keeps getting hooked off early or coming on as a sub. Like, yeah. I mean, I at the moment in general, like Chelsea are in a bad place, right? We lost Lavia, we lost Nico Jackson. I mean, we're struggling for form at the moment. We're one of the worst teams in the league in terms of form, I believe.
Well, you're in a very friendly run of fixtures, so hopefully that'll kind of kickstart some things.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We're fairly unpredictable right now, to be honest. So I don't know. The thing is, like, he might get a random goal or random assist, but I don't think you're expecting consistent returns from him.
I mean, I don't know. I think, like Ryan said, give Calafiori United. I think this might be a give him Leicester, and if not, it's time to move on.
Yeah, could do. But I mean, 5 points versus Southampton, it's not enough. Even if he played 67 minutes, it's still not enough.
It's not, yeah. In a 4-0 win. Like he should have played a role in that win.
Yeah.
Leicester, Arsenal, Tottenham, Brentford, Ipswich. Upcoming for them.
Yeah, I mean, fixtures are still okay, but I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. I'd be comfortable moving on if I were a person.
Yeah. I potentially try and trade him though. I still think people will pick him up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, these guys, when you're dropping them, to ask yourself, would somebody immediately pick them up? And if so, that's probably a sign that you should try to trade them.
Yeah.
Even if you're taking a reduced value. Yeah. I like it. No, that's frustrating though. I mean, I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. Do you?
Nope. Not
Okay.
really. I unless like the injured players come back and we start clicking again, like no.
I
Is
just
it
mean
a-
specifically for Sancho.
Is it an obligation to buy, or you can just let the loan lapse?
I'm not sure, to be honest. But then again, like on current form, why would we want to keep him? Like United fans are like laughing at the moment. Like this is basically what we were talking about, sort of situation.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah, I'm wondering if you could just cut your losses.
yeah,
right.
Because at this point, you would.
Yeah, who knows what bully, man? That guy's mad.
But yeah, he wants Garnacho, so it's a
Yeah,
glutton for
so
punishment.
yeah, who knows with my club, man?
I don't get it. All right. Ryan, Morgan Rogers. Some people are going to be confused as why he's on this list.
They shouldn't be.
73.5 fantasy points. That's a lot compared to the rest of these clowns that we've just been looking at.
You
707.
can add the other two players and get a Morgan Rogers. Like
778 minutes. He started all 9 games, including the double game week against Liverpool. 2 goals on only 5 shots on target. Call that clinical. 2 assists, 2 assists, 9 key passes, 18 dispossessions, and dribbles. 18 of both. So you roll the dice, flip a coin,
Yeah.
50-50.
No, it's probably more indicative to like rattle off his scores because he'll get
That's-
you 14 with a goal every 2 to 3 games.
Yep.
But then that's interspersed with 0.5, 2.5, 3. I mean, the dude is the biggest boom or bust choke artist that is in the league, and so he's just maddening to roster because the only way to actually get something out of him is to start him every week, and you're just not confident you're going to get more than a handful of points, and it's just the worst place to be in.
Yep.
So yeah, on the face of it, he looks like he's decent, but like he's really not game week to game week, if that makes sense. So I'm finally in a place in CL where I can just drop him. I think I'm in pretty good shape there, where I just kind of want to see what happens, and I'm sick of him. So I think I'm just going to drop him.
You can't trade him?
No, I've tried.
He has to have trade value.
He doesn't.
So people just understand that this nature of his.
Yeah, or they just know that I'm I'm so sick of him that at some point I'll just drop him.
So 12, quiz kit brings up. I assume he'd immediately get picked up. He would.
I think he would too.
He definitely would.
yeah,
In fact, I'd love to see kind of what bidding war would happen.
Well, I mean, get some fab out of the system. Maybe that works.
Yeah,
Maybe that's-
again, I don't need him, and I'm so sick of him. And I kind of just want to see what happens.
I mean,
when
for
is
guys,
Southampton?
what'd you say?
When is Southampton?
Oh, when is Southampton? It's still 4 weeks away.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna wait that long. I'll drop him before the blank.
I mean, for guys who have the other guys we've been talking about, your Silvas, your Kudus, your Garnacho, your Sancho, they would kill to have a guy like Rogers on the waiver wire to pick up.
Yeah, no, it's not a. It sounds crazy to think that he's droppable, but in this particular situation, I'm willing to. But yeah, I've tried to trade him numerous times, and again, I don't feel comfortable starting him week in, week out. So like, he's just a really frustrating player.
Well, here are his real numbers: 12 with a goal against Crystal Palace, 4.5, 5.25. 12.75. That was the only game he's ever ghosted in his whole life, and that was Ipswich. 1.25, 0.75, 0.
Yeah.
In 90 minutes, 0.
Yeah, it's possible.
13 with an assist, and then 24 with a goal. So I suppose he did ghost against Brighton. That takes us all the way back to December.
0 floor.
It really, there is
0. Yeah, he's a character.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to drop him, but he's like he's the first midfielder I'll consider benching. Like even before somebody like a Ryan Christie or like a Lewis Cook even. Like,
Yeah, you like run out of excuses to like want
Right.
to start him. The double was nice. I will say that. But that's the only time I felt comfortable, I think, all season starting him.
Yeah.
And he just needed a double for that to happen. So yeah, it's not a like listen, if you have him, I'm not saying to drop him. I'm just saying I want to, and I probably will.
Yeah.
But just to kind of illustrate how maddeningly frustrating he is. to
For
roster.
sure. It's wild to say for a guy who's so nailed on too.
Yeah, and it's if you watch the games, like he passes the eye test. He's in dangerous positions all the
Yes.
time. He like drops absolute dimes to Watkins, but he's just like he's not putting him in. And if, as you illustrated through his scores, if he doesn't get on the score sheet, he's completely useless 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's true. This is true. All right. Well, I'm a hold, I think, on him. Although I have tried. Well, actually, now that you mention it, I have tried to trade him previously and gotten no bites whatsoever.
I traded him in one league, as you know, for Madison, but
it's been frustrating in a different way.
Color. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Ryan, you mentioned Anderson. I actually couldn't figure out if you meant Joakim or if you meant Elliott.
Actually, either or. I meant Joakim, but
so actually,
I think Elliott's gone off the boil a lot too. So like, I think he should be involved too.
Both are on this list. So yeah, I just went for
good.
it. But let's start with Joakim. The only reason I doubted that one a little bit was because he's not rostered as highly as most of the guys we're talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's 50% rostered at the moment.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sure it's much higher.
I just mentioned him because a lot of people had high hopes for him in the last couple of weeks, and the scores have completely leveled off. So
yeah,
I think it's more of a like, don't continue investing in this guy. He's the sunk cost, so just get rid of him.
No, that's totally fair. I mean, 720 minutes, started every match, 50.75 fantasy points. Which just let me quickly, that's 6.3 points per game. One clean sheet in that time. This is in the last 60 days and just not ghosting. He's just not doing it.
Yeah, you can get better defenders off the wire.
Yeah, and I think people should. 5.5 -1. 12.5 against Forest. That's interesting. But yeah, aside from that, it's been pretty brutal for him. I guess January he's such a weird player. There's like so many, it's mixed. It's mixed, but based on the opponent, you wouldn't ever be able to like figure out which game to start him and which game to not. So like you said, I think it's probably better off just going with good matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. I can tell you that I picked him up for Wolves last week. Scored 5.5, and I will be dropping him immediately. They're away at Brighton, and I think they're probably going to get smoked. And then they're at Spurs, and then they're away at Arsenal, and then they're at Liverpool, and then they're away at Bournemouth. It's just,
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, Fulham are fairly Jekyll and Hyde, though.
They really are. But that schedule is brutal.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. Maybe the Spurs match is the only one that's you could say is a decent matchup in there.
Nah, but they're getting their players back, so they'll probably get stronger.
I mean, to the point where you're going to hold this guy?
No, probably not.
Tell you what, I haven't dropped him yet. Do you want to float me an offer?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, hold on. Let me find your team here. Real quick.
Genie canceled my offer. And,
No, I would honestly keep Anderson. All right, let's see. Here we go. Bantah boys. I'll give you Joakim Anderson for Dwight McNeil.
Definitely not.
He's gonna be out until April.
That's fine. I love him. He's never leaving my bench.
I will give you Joachim Anderson for Chris Richards.
Definitely not.
Damn
I
it.
sent Garnacho for Chris. I should send that to what's Genie. I sent him, what was it? Garnacho for Rashford, and then he sent back Branthwaite. I know I want to send back for Chris Richards, but I won't get it. So still,
He'll
kudos to you.
never get rid of Richards. He's obsessed.
Yeah. Richards is
But-
such an interesting one, guys, because like I was going to include him in my streamers. And then Ryan, I saw that you already had him in yours.
Yeah,
But
he's
then-
set and forget.
Totally. But then I was like, wait, why is he so why is he not rostered? This is crazy. But then I went and looked, and he is rostered 100% in the
What?
community leagues. In the
Ah,
community leagues. But he's like 35% rostered in like
Yeah, that's
as
why I
a
kept
whole.
him. That's why I kept him in there.
Yeah, totally. No, and I understood why. But he's just one of those guys, and I have one in my streamers as well that I'll just tell people about. But he's one of those guys where it's like, if you're not in a community league and you're in a home league, you need to just check and see if he's there. But yeah, anyway. All right, Sanjy, I don't think we're gonna get a deal done here.
At least buy me a drink.
All right, fine. Okay. So that was Joachim Anderson. Martin Odegaard. It hasn't really gotten better for him. 52.25 in the last 60 days, 639 minutes, 7 games started. He's got a goal from only 2 shots on target. He's got an assist from 13 key passes. I like the key passes, at least. Those are there. 12 dispossessions. Just that's the next highest stat that he has. So yeah, he just hasn't been producing. The creative juices have not been there, arguably for the entire team, though, right, Ryan?
Yeah, but he's in particular has been out of form. Even in this current malaise, at least one year he's had a couple games where he's ghosted pretty well. But Odegaard's just been just dross, just 5 or 6 like game week. I have him in one league, and it's just like you can't really get much for him. I thought I tried to deal him for Saka a couple weeks ago, just based on the premise that obviously Saka's still out for a while and Odegaard will come into form, but no takers. So at this point, I think you gotta write it out. Interestingly, he previously lost right-sided corners to Nwaneri, but he reclaimed them midweek against Forest. So I don't know if that's going to persist or what, but that's a pretty, obviously, Arsenal with set pieces, even though we haven't scored from one in ages, it seems like. It's a nice kind of key pass floor to have. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, but yeah, I think he just needs, like everybody else, just needs Saka and some other guys to come back. Plus, he's just been really short on confidence. I missed the Odegaard from a few years ago that would just like have a pop. And he finished with like almost 15 goals. Like he just doesn't shoot anymore. He's just completely bereft of confidence. So yeah, he's bang out of form, but I don't think you can get much for him right now. So I think it's just kind of hold and hope.
I mean, people might be surprised to hear you say all this, but like this is honestly not that big of a surprise. Like it's a surprise, but a lot of his like fantasy returns and his XGs and a lot of those kind of things were kind of overblown previously. And you even mentioned this preseason. Did you write an entire article about how wasn't he in your like love but can't draft?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's just never been a first round pick for me. I got him in one league just because I didn't really give a shit, and I wanted him in one league. But yeah, and in my serious ones, I didn't take him.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, I mean, I just remember preseason talking about how, you know, some of those fantasy points were not sustainable, and I think it's played out that way, unfortunately. But yeah, generally, I think the bigger problem is just Arsenal missing players at the moment and lacking that confidence, like you said. You can't drop him.
No.
Yeah, there's no way you could drop him. You could potentially. I mean, you're trading at an all-time low if you trade him. Yeah, I think I'm with you. Probably got to write it out. Unfortunately. All right, Sanjy, your boy Luka Dean made the list here. 70.5 fantasy points in the last 60 days, 626 minutes. He started all 8. Oh, no, wait, I take that back because they had 9. So he started 8 of 9. No goals, not a single shot on target. 2 assists from 8 key passes, and only the 1 clean sheet. And maybe the biggest issue is just the fact that Villa are leaking goals for fun these days.
Yep.
I don't know quite what's going on there, but also Dean is not. He's just. I mean, he's not as prolific in ghosting as he once was.
Yeah, I think it's just European fatigue, to be honest. For the goals conceded, like some games they show up, some games they don't. But to be fair, I thought Digne started the season quite well. Like I almost felt upset that I didn't get him in any of my drafts. But then, yeah, just the ghosts have kind of been dropping off, unpredictable. He's getting subbed early. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think they're still in the Champions League, right? So I think the pain might continue until they exit that tournament, and who knows how far they'll go.
True. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Okay, so
It should beat Bruges, and then they'll play Liverpool.
I mean, let's not count our chickens here, Ryan.
Yeah.
Not, man. Emery in a tournament.
No, I meant for Liverpool.
I know.
Oh, okay. So, okay, Brentford. Away at Brentford, away at Brighton, Forest, before we finally get to Southampton on April 12th. And then it's Newcastle, Manchester City.
And the blank, right?
And then, of course, yeah. And then, of course, the blank.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No.
Would you try to trade him, maybe? After his 2 against Crystal Palace?
I'd probably offer him Garnacho.
Wait, you would take Luka Digne for Garnacho?
I think I would.
Yeah, I think I would too, honestly.
Like
Yeah,
you take out the 2
spot.
and the negative points 0.75.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, do you have
It's
to take
not
out
Chris Richards, but
do you have
it's
to take
okay.
out the 3.25 as well, or
They
No,
conceded
keep
2.
that in.
all right? If you take out the 2, you take out the negative 0.75. You take out the 3.25. You take out the 6, and then the other 6. Then his scores are 13.75, 13.25, 15, 10.75, 7.25. That's pretty good.
So if you take out the last 10 games.
Like half of the last 10 games, yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of the point of the bit.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you add up Garnacho's last 10 games, he still wouldn't come close.
No, you're right. 100%. I would do that trade for sure, Sanjy. I would do that.
Because Garnacho's points, I think in the last 10 games, there were 2 12.5s, and then the highest score after that was 1.5.
That's so unbelievably bad.
My opponent this week was starting him and then benched him, and I was like upset about it. Even though they had Ipswich at home, I was not scared in the slightest.
That says so much.
It tells you everything.
Oh no. Okay. Wow. All right. So Digne as a hold or a trade, in our opinion. Not quite a drop at this point. Not quite yet. All right. Last slide here, guys. 3 more names for you. One of them might be a little bit surprising. The first one is a new guy, but damn, he sucks. Mateus Tell, 9.25 fantasy points in 200.
Wow, he's doing that bad.
228 minutes. He has started 3 of 3 games since being at the club. No goals on 4 shots on target, no assists on just the 1 key pass and 5 dispossessions. Our own draft lad, who spends his entire day with numbers, said that he might be the single worst ghoster he's ever seen in Fantrax history.
Oh, it's so Spursy. I love it. Oh. It's weird because when you watch the games, like he looks dangerous. He's like he gets off these shots, but they're not going on target, so he's getting no points. So it's a weird kind of passing the eye test, but obviously not converting anything into points.
No.
So
Obviously
and plus Johnson and as we talked about, everybody else is getting healthy. So like, is he on borrowed time? Even despite these bad scores, he might be just a drop.
So I have him in IGL, and this is a league where I'm lucky enough to have Joao Pedro, Cunha, Semenyo, and Wissa, and I can tell you that I'm dropping him.
Yeah, he's a straight drop. Yeah.
Yep. There are other people who maybe don't have solid forwards, and maybe they need to hold him as like a forward 3 and just to hope and pray. But I mean, have we seen enough? I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. In leagues where you have a decent front 3, I think he's an easy drop. Because it's not like they have any doubles or like anything to really hold on to.
It's like we said with Sancho. He should have contributed more in that 4-goal win. They had a 4-goal win at Ipswich. He had -0.5.
Man, he's Hoyland like.
I'd take him over Garnacho.
No.
Obviously. Who would you
wait? IGL.
Which player roaming the earth would you take? Would you take for Garnacho?
Do you have Garnacho in IGL?
No, are you mad? I'm winning.
Got him in every league.
I was gonna say I'll send you Tell right now.
No, I'm not that desperate. I'd rather keep my tall Paul. With Tell though, no, I still think you can get some sort of value out of him. Or sell him for like a little bit of fab. I don't know, $3-4. Because he started the last 3 games. Like he hasn't been benched yet, and it's like you said, he's getting chances, but I don't know, he's just really bad at finishing. So, or even
he's
getting
really bad
proper shots. So, I mean, you never know. Somebody's gonna pick him up. I'm telling you, if you drop him, somebody's gonna pick him up.
Oh,
there was so much hype around. There was so much hype around him as well. Like,
no, I fully am aware that somebody will pick him up. I just don't think I care.
yeah, you can drop him.
I mean, I guess I do need a defender in that league. Well, no, I probably need a midfielder.
Go get Garnacho.
Oh man. All right. Well, maybe I could trade him for this struggling midfielder. Elliot Anderson, the other Mr. Anderson. 52.75 fantasy points, 669 minutes in the last 60 days. Started all 8 games. He has 1 goal, 1 shot on target, no assists, 3 key passes, 13 tackles. It's pretty bad.
I mean, it's okay, but the honeymoon period is over, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
I think he must have lost sets.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a situation where Ryan always tells us to ride it till the wheels fall off, and the wheels have fallen off.
Yeah.
Are you dropping?
He's still like a mid 5, like a backup mid. He's still like been averaging like 6 or 7 points a game.
He
fills the gap.
He's turned into basically like a Wilfred Ndidi or like a
steady Eddie. Yeah.
Adam Wharton. 5.5, 7, 5.25, 8.5, 1.5, 13, 8.5. The 13, I should mention, was with a goal and against Southampton.
Yeah, I think
Sounds like a drop.
if you need the room at all, he's a drop.
Yeah. I think he's just gonna bounce in and out of a lot of teams and leagues right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, nice. Let's talk Diogo Jota, boys. This is an interesting one.
That's who the guy benched Garnacho for.
I
wasn't too upset about it.
Right.
It's like 3 versus 1.5, I think.
Gavin is in the chat. I'm curious to hear his thoughts as a Liverpool fan on Mr. Jota here. 36.72 fantasy points in 221 minutes. Not as bad as the rest of them, just due to the fewer minutes involved. 3 games started. He's got a goal in there, 5 shots on target, 1 assist, 5 key passes, 6 dispossessions. 1 10+ score this calendar year. Yes, the injury was an issue, did play a role. But 3.5, 8.5, 2 since coming back from his injury. That's February 12th through the 26th. And then before that was 18 against Forest in January. So since the injury, 3.5, 8.5, 2.
Persistent non-ghoster throughout history. Plus the rotation, plus out of form. Nah. He's a trade for me.
Trade. You can't. You literally. I mean, you can't drop him. That's impossible.
No.
Yeah.
I think you can, and I think you can obviously play up the fixture against Southampton.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not bad to hold for that, but like, there's a chance that he doesn't even start that. But yeah, I think the best time to trade him probably is right now, unless you think he starts and does well against Southampton. I guess it's a risk, but I think you can at least test the waters to see what you can get prior to Southampton.
Well, so Southampton home, Everton home, away at Fulham, West Ham home, away at Leicester. That's tasty.
Yeah.
That's delicious. So
how many of those does he start?
That's the question. I mean, with Cody back, Diaz was a monster on the left. Yesterday? Yesterday. He had one of his best games of the season. He looked like he was just relieved to be back on the left-hand side. He's not the false 9. It doesn't work. So I think Jota's the answer, unless Slot's going to try to start Cody up there.
Did Jota start up front?
He had been previously, yeah.
So last game he did?
He was let's see. Last game.
I'm pretty sure he played center forward, but he played a lot deeper, though. I don't think he had a shot versus Newcastle.
He did not. You're right. Well, actually, or against Villa. Well, he had shots, but he didn't have a shot on target.
The concern for me is Liverpool still have Champions League. They're up against PSG. The god that is Ousmane Dembele, apparently. And Jota's been coming off early, last 3 games.
Yeah.
So
61 and 65.
Yeah, and then 63. Yeah. I'd still want Jota. At one point, he was better than Salah in terms of finishing. Last season or something like that. But I mean, Mo's on another planet. You can't compare anyone to him this season at all. But I think just Liverpool winning the title, all that sort of stuff, I think I'd want him now. But the problem is, once that title is sealed up, I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point Toddy's making. He said Diaz, Soboslai, kind of false 9, both yielded results, and there's no real pressure to play him if he's injured or out of form.
Yeah,
because there's other players to slot in, and we've seen. Well, no pun intended. But we've seen Slot do.
Oh God.
We've seen Slot play 2 forwards and then play more midfielders. He did that against Villa and against City.
Yeah, it's funny. On the last few team sheets, I've been seeing 4-2-4.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it would be? Interesting. Yeah, I guess maybe 4-2-4.
Because he just lets Mac and Gravenberch sit together, and then
Yeah.
the other four just go wild.
With no striker? I guess not. Yeah. Maybe that's what you're saying is he's been a little bit more withdrawn.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gavin saying he would buy low on Jota. Toddy, the aforementioned comment. I think everybody's basically recognizing that the league at this point, they don't need to prioritize as much starting all the best players and risking injury. And B, Champions League, which now becomes the focus. C, Jota is pretty injury prone. So do they kind of do a softly sort of thing?
Yeah. And you have the cup final as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know, man. Buy low. I guess, but I don't mind to buy low on him. If you can get low, as Little John would word it.
Okay, low.
But I mean, you have to buy low. Like I wouldn't support sending anybody of like equal value to the perceived value of Jota like previously, because I think we're seeing that Slot is very willing to sub him off pretty early, sometimes not start him at all, and really be sort of careful with him.
Yeah, the last 3 goals he scored have been off the bench as well.
Oh, this is a good one. Toddy.
Yeah, that is good.
Jota or Beto?
Beto all day.
Really?
Yeah, I love Beto. Beto is on fire under Moyes, man.
Oh, he is. Absolutely. Beto, 8.75, 19.25, 26, 18.5, 23. That is incredible. Wow. So would you both take Beto?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That says a lot. Damn. I mean, so it just goes to show, right? Like this Liverpool machine is not necessarily also a fantasy points machine. We've seen that previously. Right now, Soboslai's having his day in the sun, but I think that'll dry up too. I don't trust anyone to like sustain it on this team except for Mo.
Yeah, but Sobo's getting the opportunities though.
No, for sure.
He seems to have some chemistry with Mo now.
I agree. He does for the time being. But I'm still scarred from last season.
Yeah, but debut season, right?
Well, and early this season. It's not like he's been good all season.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't mind a piece of Sobo.
I get the argument is like now he's like coming to his own and he's fully like realized his place in the team, and he's a big confidence player too, because everybody says, how well he plays for Hungary. Which then I've seen him. He's great. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's time. His time to shine.
Yeah.
He's been awesome. He's been awesome against 3 of the better teams in the league the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, by now last season he would have broke down already, right?
Right.
He seems like the fitness is finally there.
Yeah. Nice. Any other last draw, guys?
No.
No, we ran the gamut there.
Somebody mentioned real quick before we move on. Draft Espresso mentioned Gordon's last 6 games: 8-7, 6-1, 1.51.
Yeah, he's been bang out of form. But you got to back him to turn it around. Plus that DGW in 32 is really tasty.
Yeah, that's an ultimate trade in for me right there. I would do a lot to try to get him in.
Well, calm down there.
I would
Like
float some pretty tasty offers. Like, let's see.
Joe would do unforgivable things.
Unforgivable things. I don't know. Let's see who do I have on my roster. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe give like Mikolenko +1. who's been surprisingly good.
No, Miko's a G, man.
Give.
Dude, nobody's taking Miko for freaking Gordon, man. Come on.
You didn't hear who the +1 is. It's Mateus. It's Mateus Tell.
Well, if Miko is the headliner, I can only imagine.
Well, yeah.
Miko is the +1.
It's a Miko plus Mateus Tell, and it's an M&M. It's an M+M trade deal, and obviously it's gonna go right through.
Would you do Gordon for Kudus?
I'd take Gordon.
Yeah. Gordon, give me Gordon. Toddy, you got Gordon in for Marmouche plus Beto?
That does make sense.
That
This
feels
was a couple weeks ago, and I don't blame him, honestly. Hindsight's 2020.
Move.
That's a nice move, man.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Gameweek 28 streamers. Let's do this, guys. We'll shut her down. Sanjy.
Yeah. So Philogene got 10 ghosts in the game against Spurs. I mean, at Spurs, but then 18.5 versus United. I don't know if this is like a flash in the pan, because the other start before that was versus Liverpool. He got 4.5 ghosts. I don't know, man. It's pretty rough. And is he a forward? Like right now, it's kind of hard to find a decent forward. So like, I don't know if I had to decide maybe between him and Tall Paul, because I feel like a lot of leagues like Tall Paul is owned right now, but he's in and out the team right now. So this is probably the next best thing you're gonna get, other than like a Jordan Ayew. So yeah, it's like scraping the barrel, to be honest, because I think I was like lost in the sheet possibly.
No, I was.
Oh, were you? Okay.
It will be quite obvious.
Yeah, like it's pretty grim for forwards, man. But anyways, let's see. Take a punt.
Honestly, this week is kind of shit for streamers.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad out there. But yeah, no, I agree. If you're looking for a forward, I don't know how much better you can do, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. Then next you have Maguire versus Arsenal. I mean, Maguire is probably the best ghosting defender from United. He has goal threat. He's shown it already. The thing is like Arsenal's attack is not clicking. So there's a possible gamble for a clean sheet. I know it's United and like there are an absolute shit show. I know,
Against
but
Arsenal?
You never know. Crazier things have happened in the
They have a
man.
point to prove. I think they're gonna, yeah.
You never know. Next is Tosin versus Leicester. Leicester haven't scored a goal in their last 4 games. I think like 3 in their last 8 games. Yeah, basically they're not scoring goals. I think the problem is though, I feel like a lot of people would have already jumped on Chelsea assets because of the Southampton fixture this game week. So it's gonna be tough. But any Chelsea defender, basically, you could get your hands on. I'd say.
This was my first. That was my first. That I actually started typing that into the document, and then I went back and looked at yours and Ryan's, and I was like, shit. that literally, like, Tosin was my knee-jerk reaction. Like, I came to the document to write his name, and you already had him. So I concur.
Yeah. And final name, Harrison has life again, man. Playing 90 minutes, taking corners. I don't know, whatever Moyes is doing, man, he's brought life into some assets late on into the season, which is kind of nice for some managers who manage to get like players like Beto and Harrison and stuff like that. But yeah. But yeah, those are my 4.
I had DCL before the double game week, and then didn't get Beto. I was all prepared. I was ready to go.
I had DCL, got Beto, but then sold him for Idrissa Gana Gueye because I thought
that's right.
For the double, he would be better.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Yeah, it happens. All right, Ryan, Game Week 28 streamers.
Yeah, Alex Scott came on
Tot.
for Scott versus Tot came on for Scott's Tots. Remember that Office episode?
Yeah.
One of the best. Lost my train of thought because of the Scott's Tots.
What you're gonna do? Make your dreams come true.
Yep.
Came on for Christie is what you were gonna say. Came on for Christie.
These batteries of lithium. Jesus, I want to watch that episode right now. Yeah, he came on for Ryan Christie. Looked good. I think he got 9 ghosts in a cameo. I'm assuming he keeps that spot, especially if Christie's not back. It's Spurs, so there should be some points in there. So yeah, I like him this week. As I said, Chris Richards is a set and forget. He's probably not available in your league. If he is, pick him up right now with the schedule and the double and everything. Like, dude he's magic.
Yep.
Totti at home versus Everton. There should be aerials to be won. He's consistently the best ghosting defender. Doesn't have the upside of potentially Nori or Doherty, but he is the most consistent, and I think he's going to be good money versus Everton. So if you need a weird defensive stream this week, I think Totti is your guy. I think there'll be some streaming opportunities for Liverpool against Southampton, so that's why I put Jones and potentially Simi. Yeah, I think the way the schedule matches up, they'll probably rotate a bit. So, and we've seen how bad Southampton is. So, one of those guys should do the job. And I think Ben White has a chance to come back in. It's a late game, so you need cover. And Timber really hasn't put a foot wrong, but he's played a ton of games. Coming off that ACL, it's a miracle that he's gotten through this stretch. Now that White is fit again, I would like to think that, especially looking forward to the Champions League fixtures, I'd like to think that Arteta rotates in White against United. So, yeah, those are my.
I like that. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if he's been picked up in leagues. Like, are people?
I've picked him up and dropped him a couple of times the last couple of weeks, so he probably is.
Are people preemptively doing that? No, he's available in one. Let's see. He's rostered in the other, so that's interesting. So yeah, seems like mixed bag. Some are giving the wait and see approach, and some are.
He might be further dropped when the waivers go because he didn't start again.
Oh yeah, true.
Against Forest, so
nice.
If nothing else, he's good late game cover.
All right, I was last in the dock, which of course is why I have some scrubs on here, but it's fine. I couldn't have Totti as mentioned because Ryan already had him, so I've got some. Got Semedo.
Oh, Semedo's just as good, if not better.
Semedo's been great, honestly. The last few weeks, kind of under the radar a little bit. 33% rostered, which Nori, I had no idea. He's like 85% rostered.
People love him for some reason because he's had a couple monsters, but for the most part, he's trash.
Right. It's just so it was baffling. 85% rostered. Semedo 33%. He scored 13. Got an assist against Fulham, 13.5 against Bournemouth, 6.5 against Liverpool in a 2-1 loss. He's been okay. 10.25 against Arsenal. I mean, he's been all right. You could do worse. So if you need just kind of like a ghost point play, that's probably a decent one against Everton. That could very well be a 0-0 draw too. Like that game could be weird. I could see it being 2-2 or 0-0 pretty easily. So speaking of, O'Brien is probably the only Everton player that you're going to be able to grab who potentially has clean sheet capabilities, and they've been doing that lately. He's also been fairly decent. He had a goal, got 20.75. Then he had 7.75, 7.75, conceding in both games. So he's been okay, surprisingly. And against Wolves, you could do worse. They probably won't put 3 or 4 past them. So you're probably pretty safe with hoping to get 5 at least. Which, depending on where you're at and what your team needs, could be all. Frankie Muniz is an interesting one. This is just a speculative play. He played recently due to the not double gaming, but the short turnaround, right? So he played, he started against Wolves and scored 16.75. And the only reason I bring him up is because of the goal that he scored. The way that he looked lively. And when you compare him to Raul, Raul is really having a tough run of it right now. He's really having a rough go of it. The last couple of games, he's been really anonymous. So there's, do I know his name at this point? His first name? Yeah, it's Frankie, Gavin. It's obviously Frankie. Anyway, yeah, sorry to interrupt that. Gavin asked a silly question. Yes, Frankie Muniz, playing against Brighton. This is kind of a dart throw. This is sort of a speculative play. Maybe he gets more game time due to Raul's struggles. Just a thought. And then this is one of those I mentioned where Ryan had Richards. Same thing with Alcaraz. Alcaraz 38% rostered in Fantrax, literally 100% rostered in the community leagues. But if you are not in one of the uber involved community leagues, where he's definitely not there, check your waiver wire, because there's a chance that Alcaraz is just chilling there, and he has had in the games he started, he's had some really, really solid scores lately. And he's worth rostering as like a mid 3, mid 4. So check out your waiver wire if you are in a home league, or if you are in a different league where it's not, crazy people who are addicted to the game. All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
Perfect. All right. We're going to call it. Again, there is no Premier League action this weekend. But we probably won't get a pod in before there's midweek games next week, right?
No. Champions League.
Oh, so next weekend?
A little bit of a break, yeah.
Well, maybe we'll take a break. We'll see. Or maybe we'll do a like a listener question show. That might be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so everyone enjoy this little break. Hopefully it's not too stressful for you. You don't have to worry too much about pickups. Does anyone know if community leagues are going to hold their waivers, or are they going to go?
So.
Yeah,
I think it's on Monday or something, isn't it?
They set to Monday right now. I saw IGL was set to Monday.
That's an interesting one. Usually over these breaks, they've kind of tended to push them and kind of hold them, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right. Muniz in the middle. That's very nice, Gavin. Very nice.
What is his actual name? Is it like Rodrigo or something?
Rodrigo. Yeah. Rodrigo.
Love that.
Yeah, Frankie's much better.
It's obviously Frankie. Yeah.
All
right, everyone. Yeah. You are amazing. Community, you're the best. Thanks for everyone chatting. Thanks for the TDS guys joining in chat tonight. We had Robbie a while back. We had Toddy. We had Gavin. Yeah. This is amazing. Awesome. And then, of course, community, everyone else, you guys are even better because you show up consistently. We love y'all. We'll talk to you soon. If you have any questions, hop on over to Discord. That's where the action is now. Because of course we try not to support neo-Nazis. So everyone's off Twitter. So head over to Discord, and that's where the conversation's being had. Love you all. Talk to everyone soon. Have a good one. Cheers.
Bye.